If you are like most Shopify stores and you are sending ads to an unoptimized store, you are losing money. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can apply very, very simple and basic principles of CRO to improve your store, save more money, convert more customers, and scale more reliably. So let's dive right in. So I'm going to take a look at this store and let's see what we can do to optimize this. So what I would say here straight away is just the order of things is kind of backwards, because what you should have led with is a photo of your product instead of this, because this is really hard to see what your product is back here. So lead with your photo of your product. This is a better photo down here. I don't quite like that headline because again, it's still vague of what you're selling. Your headline basically needs to call out what you're saying. It doesn't need to be super direct, but it should be a little bit clearer. The goal here is that when someone looks at the photo and they look at the headline together, it should be crystal clear exactly what you're selling. So that's the kind of goal there. So those two things need to tie together. So what I can see straight away is that you're selling this product at a quite a high price point. But the biggest thing that's going to determine whether or not people can equate that price to the value that you're claiming it to be is with your imagery. Your imagery on any e-commerce store is always super important, and especially the higher the price your product is, because when the higher the price your product is, the more selling and the more persuasion you have to do. Now, normally, what people think that means is, oh, I need to add more copywriting, or I need to add more trust, or I need to add more social proof. Not necessarily. You can look at some really, really big brands that are doing well right now. They're not necessarily like the giants of the industry. They have premium prices, but the reason why they're able to build trust straight away and sell them at that price point is because of their imagery. When you have high quality imagery, that alone builds trust, because people can see the product in all of its detail. And they obviously can, on a subconscious level, they can think, okay, if they have a budget to have a photo shoot like that, a really professional one, they must be a legitimate brand. Because at the end of the day, what people don't want to happen is to shop with someone that they've just found online a few seconds ago by clicking on an ad, and then spend $500 or $1,000 and then have nothing arrive, or have the wrong product arrive, or have it arrived damaged. And so when they see a trustworthy website, trustworthy images, and that equates to them trust. And that's all the emotion that we want to build by doing this. So the biggest thing that you can do here is having higher quality imagery. And your imagery on your site here, it is nice, but I just think the reason why it's not really standing out for me is because it's kind of like you've kind of compressed them a little bit, and the quality of the photo is like a little bit blurry. So there should be a way here that we can bring some more beautiful imagery onto your website. And I also don't think that the branding, the font choice, the colors, and the rest of the structure around the image is doing your images any justice. And I think what you'd be better off doing is kind of just choosing like a more premium font, a nicer font, cleaning up the spacing a little bit so the text reads more, and then basically just making your images bigger, letting them sell, letting your images do the heavy selling for you. When I come onto your Instagram, the impression that I get is that you're a big brand. Look at the imagery that you have here. And I like this as well. You look at this caption that you've got here. This could also really double well as your headline on your hero section. You know, maybe you don't need to say that directly, like we sell commercial grade bouncy castles and bubble houses. But the reason why that headline is better, yeah, it's a little bit more direct and not really personal, but it's clear. At least it's clear. And clear is better than vague and sounding nice. So what your website needs to do is it needs to take the feeling that I'm getting from your Instagram page and put it on your website. If you can do that, you will certainly sell a lot more products, because you're building trust. And the reason why Instagram, I use this as an example, is because you have everything here that you need to sell. Instagram would be a great shop if they actually had it like a buy now button, because you have the social proof already. You got 15,000 followers, you have beautiful imagery, and then you have people commenting on your imagery. So you have all the three elements that you really need. So all you need to do on your website is to bring those elements back in. Bring in the beautiful imagery, bring in the trust, so bring in the social proof. You can say you have 15,000 followers on Instagram. You can say that you have X amount of orders that you've sold, or you've been in business for X amount of years. And then the final thing that your website is missing is the reviews. So bring in some featured reviews, bring in some photos of customers enjoying your product, some reviews that highlight different objections or handle different objections that people have. Like you could say, the quality was amazing, it's weatherproof, I didn't expect it to arrive on time, but it arrived on time. Different reviews that talk about different things so that new customers will obviously really appreciate to read. That's obviously the beauty of a landing page, because a landing page can do all of that on one page. You don't need to completely redesign your entire site, which will obviously be really expensive and time consuming and resource consuming. So hopefully you got some value from this audit. I would definitely recommend, if you take anything away from this, I would definitely recommend bringing some of those elements that you have in your Instagram to your website. Bring in the beautiful imagery, update your hero section headline, add some more of the beautiful imagery into your carousel, into your product page carousel, because I think that's really important. Like each of these different products here, I can see that you have different imagery in here, but I would make your imagery bigger. Just make it bigger. And the last thing I would say is bring in some reviews. Bring in some featured reviews that your customers have talked about that handle different objections, and try to see if you can find some user-generated content, UGC images of people actually using the product, so that it just seems so much more authentic and so much more real and personal, and of course creates that feeling of excitement, which is what your product is all about. If you're looking for further help, we do offer a service where we can craft a high-converting landing page that is designed to outbeat your current page by at least 10%. Our specialty is designing these high-converting landing pages, and we pretty much do this every day for the e-com clients that we work with, such as Snow, CarePod, Soloway, Velvet Caviar, and many more DTC brands, helping them to increase their ad performance and get better results in terms of their conversion rate, average order value, and overall profitability. If you're interested in learning what results we can get for you and how our process works, then check out the description. There are links to our website, and of course you can also book in a call with me and answer any questions you have. Cool, and I hope you got some value from this video.